Hey everyone, it's Colin. How's it going? I was tipped off to a cool little mod by a viewer in one of the comments of another video, and I figured, I think it's worth doing. It isn't anything fancy or really substantial. It doesn't change the operation or functionality of your handheld. What it does is it's just a really old school kind of cosmetic mod. What I'm talking about is adding an LED light to the cartridge for your Game Boy Color. One of the cool features about the Game Boy Color cartridges is that the vast majority of them have translucent plastic, meaning you can see through them to the circuit board inside. That makes putting an LED inside kind of cool. It gives off this little bit of a glow. Of course, these cartridges need power in order to work, and they get that power from the Game Boy Color itself. So we can tap into some of the circuitry on the circuit board in one of these game cartridges to drive our LED. The first thing we need to do is get the cartridge taken apart. This is actually pretty simple, although you do need a small game bit screwdriver in order to get the single screw in the back taken out. After you've done that, the cartridge kind of slides apart. You slide the top half towards the cartridge connector a little bit and then lift it off to expose the circuit board. Now, in order to figure out where we can actually draw power off of this board, we need to have the game running. The easiest way to do this is to simply stick it into a Game Boy Color without that top cover on and turn the Game Boy Color on. A good clue as to test points you can use is if you look on the circuit board, a lot of times components have little silkscreen labels on the circuit board itself. And some of these labels are fairly standardized. Usually anything that starts with an R is going to be a resistor, and anything that starts with an F is going to be a fuse. In our case, what we're going to want to look for are these points labeled with a C. The C stands for capacitor, and capacitors are things that filter and take care of power. So they're going to be a very good place to start when trying to figure out where we can actually draw power off the board to power that LED. Use your multimeter and find a ground point. Usually one of these kind of larger squares or circles in the corner of the board is going to be tied to ground. So put the black probe of your multimeter there. Then with the red or positive probe of your multimeter, try some of the legs on these capacitors. See if you can get a reading off of them. You can see here that I'm getting 5 volts off of several of these capacitors, even this one spot that's actually not even populated. Now, once you've found some power, that doesn't necessarily mean you can go with the first one that you found. We're going to want to test as well. Take an LED, and you're going to want an LED rated for that same value of power that you found, in this case 5 volts. If you don't have a 5 volt rated LED, stay with me, I'll tell you how you can work around that. But in any case, take your LED and try to actually power it off of that ground point and that power point that you found. If the LED illuminates, then hey, you're halfway there. But something you also want to check is after you've illuminated the LED, flip the Game Boy over and take a look at the screen. Sometimes you end up drawing too much power from a circuit that needs it, and in this case, you'll see I've actually crashed the game. If this is the case, you can't use that power point. You need to move on to another one on the board. What I did find was this other one on the left side of the circuit board that didn't crash the game or cause any problems when I stuck the LED on it. So that's the power point that I'm going to use going forward here. So if you've got a 5 volt rated LED, all you need to do is solder it in and you're done. If, like me though, you've got some 3.3 volt rated LEDs, I got mine out of some computer cases that were getting thrown out, we're going to need to do a little bit more. 3.3 volt rated LEDs running at 5 volts are going to run a bit too hot and they're going to have shortened life. They will be a bit brighter, but the brightness in the long run isn't necessarily a good thing. So we need to figure out how to kind of bring that power level down coming off of the circuit board and into the LED so that we don't burn it out. The easiest way is to stick a resistor in line with the LED, and it doesn't really matter which leg of the LED you put the resistor on. I'm using a 100 ohm resistor, which is perfectly rated to take 5 volts and bring it down to about 3.3 volts for the LED. Here's how I rigged it up. The positive leg of the LED is going to get soldered to the power point on the circuit board. And I ended up folding the legs of this resistor in such a way that one leg is going to get soldered to the negative point on the circuit board, and the other one kind of got folded up and soldered to the negative leg of the LED, which I then sleeved with some heat shrink tubing to keep it from shorting anything out. So once you've gotten everything soldered together, test it one more time, just make sure that it all works, and then button it up. What's interesting is that you don't really need to hold the LED down inside the case or anything. You don't need to use hot glue or electrical tape or anything. It's not going to go anywhere because it's a very tight fit inside that case. Once you get the top cover put back on, it holds the LED down firm against that circuit board, so it's not going to go anywhere. There's actually very little room, and an LED just happens to fit perfectly. Now, would I do this mod a little bit differently again the second time? Probably. I used a white LED this time because I thought it would look cool. The problem is I used a directional LED. You may want to get a diffused LED if you're going to actually go buy LEDs to do this mod. That way you'll get kind of a nice all-around glow. It'll look a lot better. It'll look more diffused and without any hot spots or making it look like you've turned your Game Boy into a flashlight or something like that. But anyway, this is a very simple, easy, and cheap mod to do. It can get a little finicky at times with trying to keep from shorting anything out, but you know what? Take your time and you can do it. If you liked the video, I would appreciate a thumbs up. Those help quite a bit. If you haven't already, do subscribe. The button's right down there somewhere. And as always, thank you all so much for watching.